Hi guys, and welcome back to Hilltop Farm. I'm Jay, and today we're actually going to be sowing some seeds for spring. It's almost spring, and by the time these seeds actually start coming up, it will be spring. Also, we have cause to celebrate because this will be the channel's 100th video to be released. So that's a bit of a milestone. We started on the 1st of January this year, and as I say, up to 100 videos already. So I want to thank everybody who subscribes and watches the videos, and keep watching because it's only going to get better from here. Okay, so what are we actually going to be sowing today? I've done just a rough plan of the garden, sort of, you probably can't see that, I think, but anyway, showing where the raised beds are, numbered them, what have you, and I've worked out what I'm going to put in. Some things are obviously put in for the entire spring summer season. Other things, they'll have an initial planting, then a second planting, and sometimes a third planting. Other things, like for example, we've already got the potatoes in, but the potatoes will be done probably early summer, so then I've got plans for what I'm going to put in there once the potatoes are finished. So what we've got certain beds we have to start with, and others that will be ongoing concerns. Right, now one thing I've got that I'm just trying is it's a different type of snow pea, and that's from Boondie Seeds. I've given them a plug here before. Here in Australia, they're the best ones that I've come across, and I'll put their link down in the description below. But this one is a giant snow pea apparently, so I just got a handful of those to give it a try. I also have got a half a dozen seeds, also snow peas, but they're in a bush form. I bought the seeds for my mother because she's in a retirement village. She's only got pots, so she was going to try them in pots, the snow peas. But I've got half a dozen of them off of her because I'm going to give them a go myself just to see what they're like, what they do. So I'm going to be putting those in as well. Also, very important not to forget your pollinators, of course. These were sent to me, sunflowers. They were sent to me free by Gardeners Express. It's another online place where we get plants from, and I think we got some of the raspberries, raspberry canes from there. We're going to have garlic from there. What else? Rhubarb. So anyway, they sent us those. Most important to have pollinators in the garden. Now, something I've tried, because a lot of the homesteaders I follow in the US swear by a company called Baker's Creek Heirloom Seeds. Now, it's something that I haven't really entertained because Australia's import regulations are extremely tight for importing anything. So I didn't think it would be worth a go. But I saw on one of the homesteaders I follow, they had these fantastic sunflowers. And I really like the look of them, but just couldn't get them here in Australia. So I went onto the Baker's Creek Heirloom Seeds website in the US, and I ordered some. and I ordered a couple of other things too. A particular tomato, don't know if you can see that. Can you? These are the sunflowers I particularly wanted. Okay. Anyway, went onto the website and thought, well, I'll just spend a few shekels to see what they do, and sure enough, they sent them to me and they arrived. So I will also put their website in the description below. I'm going to try again with them. Probably a good idea for people in Australia not to spend too much, just in case for some reason customs decide not to let them through. They let mine through, and if I ever have problems getting the seeds from them again, you know, in the future, I'll let you know. But all the time they're coming, I'm happy to buy them. So anyway, very excited to get some of these growing. So as I say, the sunflowers. Now, I'm also going to be sowing sweet corn from Boondy's seeds. Spaghetti squash. Now, spaghetti squash is something I've never seen here. I did manage to get the seeds from Boondy, but I've never seen it. I've only seen it on American videos, so very interested to give it a go and see what it's like. If we don't like it, we won't get it again, but we'll give that a go. Now this one here, I don't hold out a lot of hope. I really don't. I love pickled things. I love pickled beets, or beetroot as we call it here. I love gherkins, or pickled cucumber, I think they call it in the US. Anyway, I got some seeds. Have a look at this, would you? Can you see that? One of our dogs has half eaten the packets, and a lot of the seeds inside are damaged. So it's going to be pot luck as to what, if any, of those actually grow. So that's a bit disappointing. I've got 4 different tomato seeds that I'm going to be planting. I've got the Amish paste from Baker Creek Heirloom. I've also got this one. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it because I'm hopeless at pronouncing things, but can you see that there? That's where I'm going to be planting those. I've also got another heritage one that's called Ram's Horn, which is a tomato as well, and of course good old Roma. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be planting today. And I'm going to be planting some perpetual spinach. I must say I'm not a huge fan of spinach. I don't mind the baby spinach in salads and you know, in sandwiches and things, but I don't like cooked spinach whatsoever. But I thought the perpetual spinach, I thought of actually, there's a pathway that runs just in front of one of the chicken runs that I thought would be good with just a line of that. And yeah, every time you walk past you can pull a couple of leaves off, throw it in with the chickens. I thought would suit them, so I'm going to get those going as well. Okay, now I'm not going to spend a lot of time showing you how I do this because I've already done that before. I'll link the video down below, but it basically shows you the method we use, whereby We use toilet rolls. We insert a square of toilet paper. I mean, the toilet rolls are cut to certain lengths depending on the type of seeds we're planting. And then fill it with soil. We line them up in these cat litter trays. Okay, we line them all up, water them from there. Now with some of them they go in the greenhouse, but with I'm going to try something different this year, because we often have trouble with things like tomatoes and things because it's really too cold. And sweet corn's another. It's often too cold here to get them to germinate when you want them to. So I'm actually going to try putting them in one of our egg incubators for a week or two. Now I'm not going to have it on the full 37 odd degrees. I'm going to see if it will let me set the temperature right down low at sort of 25 degrees and pop them in there and see if that actually works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But of course once they start growing then they can go out into the greenhouse, but the greenhouse never gets the full sun. Our climate is strange. In Australia you can't have a greenhouse in the full sun, or yeah, it's just ridiculously hot, nothing will grow. But it's still cold in winter, so although it keeps the moisture in, which is what we need because we have a very dry environment in this country, it's absolutely hopeless for getting anything warm this time of year. So I'm going to give this a go, and then when they're germinated, assuming it works, I'll move them out there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get cracking on this. I'm not going to bore you with it. As I say, I will leave you the link to the other seedling video where I first show you how we do make these little pots ourselves and how we do it. And then I'm going to bring you back at the end of it and show you all the trays we've done, and I'll show you how we go with setting up the incubator. Okay, so make yourself a cup of coffee or a cup of tea and we'll be right back. Okay, now we're all done with that. So we've managed to plant quite a bit. I don't know, can you see there? Okay, that's an assortment of snow peas and a couple of different sorts of beans and so forth. Okay, now I've adjusted the temperature on this. The lowest it will go is actually 30 degrees C, which might be a bit warm. But I'm going to do it as an experiment anyway. If after a week nothing's happening, it's probably safe to say I've cooked them and we'll scrap them and start again. But I think they should be alright. I'm not going to leave it on all the time. I thought I'd probably run it for maybe 6 or 7 hours through the middle of the day. And that way, you know, they won't be too hot for too long. And because being inside, they're not going to drop down to the really cold temperatures that we're experiencing overnight here. I mean, some nights it's we're almost at freezing point. So yeah, while there's frosts and so forth, we're you know, obviously not going to put them out. So I think that's all to tell you about. We'll come back maybe in a week's time to see how they're going, if anything's germinating, just for a quick video to follow up on it. I think that's pretty much covered everything for this episode. Now, once again, thank you to all my viewers that have stuck with us since we've started for this, the 100th video for the channel. Those of you that are new, make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any other videos. Hit the like if you like this video, and hit the bell because that will notify you when we put out a video. And you'll probably notice, as I did today when I turned on my computer, that there's been some sort of an update to YouTube and the screen actually looks different. Yeah, look carefully, yeah, you'll see the buttons are there. I think they just move further along. Okay, so until next week when we come back and do a follow-up on this, it's goodbye from Hilltop Farm. See ya!